These are great call-outs in between our prop console and our flight manager, Scott Tamblin, calling it as the data is feeding into the lander, which means we are continuing to have good communications. The lander is sending that back to flight controllers in Nova Control. Gary, something we prepared for, we planned on, is that loss of communications, and that's why we have this.
I see good thrust control.
A good thrust control call from prop, but that's why we have this autonomous lunar lander. You know, we program, we know that, hey, we want to light PDI in this moment. These are the steps you need to get there. But from here in, this is an autonomous lunar lander, and flight controllers are monitoring communications and tracking the progress right along with the public right now with us.
Nova C has the
rather than just a possibility.
Fido, I'm showing 500 kilometers to target, but my display's a little bit stale.
That's the mission director, Tim Crane, calling about 500 kilometers, but stating that his information might be just a bit stale.
1,000 PSI in the helium tank.
It's part of the reason we're showing this animation, Josh. Of course, this is not telemetry driven. We're just showing you exactly what's happening. As we hear the calls, this information is relayed through the audio loops. Not enough bandwidth to do a live stream of this, so we're relying on the data that's being fed from Nova C to Nova Control.
Now, that data is going into the flight controllers, and what you're seeing on your screen right now is just to give you an idea of the vehicle's attitude. You heard them talking about moving to a burn attitude. This is what we expect Nova C is doing right now. It is a simulation in the large screen just to give you an idea of what's happening over these critical approximate 10, 11 minutes of PDI-powered descent initiation, trying to slow Nova C down, bring that acceleration down to about 1,800 meters per second. And there's some follow-on steps after that, Gary. It involves pitching over the lander using that gimbaled engine. We heard the maneuver to burn attitude followed by main engine gimbal checkout. So they'll use that gimbal to pitch the lander over and start a vertical descent. This is where we start getting a little tricky as far as there is a final approach. It may add a few seconds, it may add a little bit of time, but we are intended to land right around 17:24. That's 5:24 p.m. Central Time, but know that there is some give and take. We're also expecting, plan for, and train for a little bit of loss of communication during this process.
That's right. And that communication is absolutely important. And part of the reason, and we've been stressing this, Josh, is the autonomous operations of Nova C. Part of that is after it performs that pitch over maneuver.
400 seconds to go and braking 1. Good control. Fido, I see TRN depause processing. In flight.
All right, that was the call that we were waiting for. That was our major problem we've been working on in this dynamic situation, is getting those images processed from the HRN camera, TRN camera, which in this case, a dynamic situation, we had to improvise a little bit and reach into those 2 laser beams from NDL, figure out a patch while we were in lunar orbit, just about 2 hours, and it sounds like we are getting good readings from those images. Absolutely remarkable feat. We also happened here, I think it was 400 seconds remaining. That was coming from Fido and Flight Dynamics. Sean Stewart working the console this evening.
This is excellent calls to hear. Hazard relative navigation is going to be used after the pitch over maneuver. This allows Nova C to make some decisions and scan the landing site underneath it and make decisions in an area that calculates the terrain to make sure that it's landing in a safe landing zone.
Right, so we finish up PDI, pitch over, and we have to use that hazard relative navigation, a critical tool in order to land on the moon to make those decisions, right? There's no human eyes, human elements deciding, okay, I see the hazard, I need to steer this way, or maybe press the gas, press the brakes. This all happens autonomously, and this is a huge requirement and a great call out to hear about the HRN camera system and processing those images. Right now, I am tracking 5:16 p.m. We expect PDI to go until about 5:21, 5:22.
300 seconds and braking 1.
Or about 300 seconds to approximate those numbers.
Very precise.
Make that landing precise.
Josh, after those final series...
Thrust to weight is 1.7.
Following along, after those critical maneuvers...
Committed thrust still 90%.
90% thrust. We'll hear those call-outs periodically. We started at full thrust, 90%,
Engine
still
performance
throttling.
nominal.
And good
500
performance
PSI
on that
fuel
engine.
intake.
That's a great call out. Two things there. Nominal performance on this engine as well as the helium tank. So what we haven't mentioned so far in the show is that the helium tank pressurizes that liquid methane and liquid oxygen tank. But in addition, it's also used for reaction control system. Those are the small spurts that you see at the top of the lander in the animation that control the vehicle's attitude. So for things like landing on the moon, you really want to land at the right attitude. That way your antennas are facing back, direct line of sight to Earth, and you can get that ultimate confirmation once you do suspect that you have landed on the moon.
The antenna alignment is an important element of landing on the moon, Josh. We're expecting the high-gain antennas to be pointed towards Earth to confirm, but there may be a delay.
We are expecting some sort of delay. I had just talking to the mission directors about how quickly we could receive a positive confirmation after this landing process is through, and there was some dispute over how long. The earliest was just about 15 seconds after we see timing of when the event is supposed to happen. So right now we're tracking about 5:24 p.m. Central Standard Time. So maybe anywhere from 15 seconds after that, maybe a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes while we work to acquire that signal. Because as you mentioned, the lander is going to a general area.
9 kilometers altitude.
9 kilometers altitude call from Tim Crane. The lander is going into a general area that we say this is the general area we want you to fly to. It's using that hazard relative navigation to make better decisions about this is an area with the least amount of slope. This is an area that's free of boulders and other obstacles. So it's making autonomous decisions about where to go.
3 minutes to
baby.
go. Breaking 1.
AI, see, it ain't
3 minutes
telling me
call.
we had AI leading it. Come on, future.
Just to wrap that up, when the lander is making those decisions, Gary, it's also very difficult to track.
The
We've
things
been
that
very
can be
fortunate
done,
thus
we
far
have
tracking
robots.
communications to this point.
To wrap that up,
Last
Josh,
time was
3
the
minutes, that
Apollo
brings us
landing,
to
when we like
just shy of
1957, something like
5:22
that.
p.m. Central Time. We should hear that the power descent and initiation burn is complete. Then we'll begin the next series of
LUNR
maneuvers
stop for those
to get
that-
us towards vertical and terminal descent. It starts with pitch over.
And just looking at our notes here, we did go into this burn expecting pitch over at 5:21 and 57 seconds. So good call out on the timing of that maneuver. It's important to remember PDI starts an engine burn that does not stop until landing. So this is a throttleable liquid methane, liquid oxygen engine. We lit the engine at PDI, and while we are changing into a pitch over, vertical descent, and terminal descent and then landing, that is a throttle down to the lunar surface. And when we do get out of PDI, if we hear that call of PDI complete, good burn, everything after that is going to happen in very quick succession, Gary. The time it takes to go from pitch over to landing, or what we estimate landing to be, just looking at maybe 90 seconds is what we expect nominally.
3 minutes to touchdown.
There is some wiggle room. 3 minutes to touchdown call from the mission director.
Let's get it. He looking up at the camera. Y'all better come with it.
For an on-time
You better
landing that
come
sets
with
us a
it.
little after 5:23 p.m. Central Time.
Right, our notes going
You
into
better
this burn,
come with it.
5:23 and 25 seconds.
The autonomous operations, Josh, sets this to a clock. This is exactly what we got relayed before the start of our
Still
coverage today.
processing.
We're right on track.
Depause, terrain relative navigation measurements.
Excellent call out. That
I'm liking
solution
what I'm
that flight
seeing.
controllers were
Decent amount
working
of
so
beards in the
hard
room.
on to
I'm
make
already
sure
liking what I'm
HRN
seeing.
was working, pulling on extra resources that weren't originally planned for from those 2 laser beams from NDL. It appears and sounds like that solution is working, and the people working to patch that software were certainly under pressure. The clock was ticking as we went into that extra lunar orbit. It wasn't a situation where we
nerds,
could just
baby.
sit
Come
in
with me.
lunar
Come
orbit and try
with
to
me.
solve our problems indefinitely, and it's sounding good so far on the call
2 minutes
outs.
remaining till touchdown.
2 minutes to touchdown. That required a patch to be designed on the ground and uplinked
Something went out
to
with the
Nova C
landing,
to confirm that those
technology.
laser sensors on NASA's navigation
He was like,
Doppler
"It's
lidar
over."
could be
They
routed
were like,
to
"But
the terrain
they
relative
might be
navigation
fixed.
and hazard
Stop,
relative
start
navigation.
sitting
That
back
call out
up.
is
Fighter, do you
fantastic.
have an altitude reading?
I was like, oh, whatever I got myself into.
Standing by to see if we can get an altitude reading from Fido here. That's Flight Dynamics Officer Sean Stewart on blue team.
I can't tell if the chat or not. Yeah. Okay, hey, what's up? What's up, two people down there? I see y'all in that thing. I can't see chat, but it is what it is.
Confirm that looked like a pitch over gimbal.
Wow.
Let's do it.
Third time streaming. I
Sounds like we have some data that confirms pitch over. This starts the HDA process. That's hazard detection avoidance. Throughout this show, you've heard Gary and I talking about the problem that was attempted to be solved in lunar orbit, making the decision to not only postpone the show.
NDL indicates altitude of 1,000 meters.
1,000 meters call out from NDL that is coming from flight management. This is a system right now. NDL was not intended to be the primary landing system on this. Instead, we're using 2 laser beams from NDL and feeding that into that hazard detection and avoidance system that you see on your screen right now, with the lander making autonomous decisions about where it wants to land. That is generally
less than 1 minute remaining.
Come with, please.
To touchdown.
Less than 1 minute remaining for touchdown.
Let's see.
And again, that's the time of touchdown. It may take some time to actually confirm the status of the lander.
And in this process, we do have a deployment of Eagle Cam attempting to take the third-person images of Nova C going down to the lunar surface. We are inside of 1 minute, Gary.
People like, hey, I think we're going to do it. Come on now. Just touch it. I want y'all to graze it. Just live on it. Oh. Come on, baby. They said 70% chance. Everybody else, NASA.
Yes, we're well on the blowdown.
Intuitive designs. Come with it. Intuitive machines. AI, baby. AI.
And we're tracking here in the broadcast booth. The clock has reached the expected.
May take a minute for comms to reestablish. Stand by.
All right.
There it is, mission director beating us to it. We've reached the expected time of landing, but now is the process of waiting for comms, and we are in standby mode, as you heard it from the mission director, Dr. Tim Crane.
Got about 1,500 riding on it. If this go bad, y'all gonna see me click. I gotta make some sales happen quick. Come on.
And 1 minute has elapsed from the notes that we have, Gary, of that original burn starting at PDI.
And you have carrier lock.
That's MD asking if we are getting the ground stations locked on to Nova C. That carrier lock call, Gary, we expect that to come from GroundNet or COM, that conversation possibly not happening on our public channel that we have access to. We're just standing by to hear that come through the channels as we approach almost 2 minutes since we estimated the landing time. We did get a few call outs on the side, folks coming into the room saying there was about a 2-minute forgiveness in our timetables.
We are checking our antenna reception.
Checking antenna reception.
Come with it. Come with it. Look at it, it's swinging. See, swinging.
And we're standing by, Gary. We're standing by just as we approach 5:26 p.m. Central Standard Time. Given those mission directors' notes of the flexibility between what we were tracking, what we were given was just about 5:24.
All stations, this is MD. Please look back through your logs and confirm the last information you had, and we'll determine this is a comm outage.
And that's the mission director, Gary. These are our notes here of what we believed. We talked about the comm outages with the lander making autonomous decisions. This is the process of going through the last bit of data that came into Nova Control and working to verify, okay, this is the last bit of data. Where was the lander possibly going? How do we look for it and establish those communications? Nova C uses 4 antennas placed at the top of the lander that are designed to capture these communications. But we did expect this. We talked about it, that this is a communications challenge in and of itself, and right now we're standing by to hear that communications call out.
We're just a little more than 3 minutes
This
from the
confirmation is
time
going to be a
of
God candle on live
when the clock
stream.
reads 0 for
Y'all about
Nova
to
C
see what a
landing
God
on the
candle
moon.
or a death candle looks like. You might not see death candle because I'm telling you, I'm about to be quicker than a Wild West draw. This is killing me. This is killing me inside.
And we just checked with our team here in the broadcast booth, decided to let's stay on this. All the chatter we are not hearing on this public channel, Gary, all things indicate that we are working to solve a possible communications challenge in this moment. So we're going to continue to stand by.
Hey, please be down there doing the Millie Wop on the spaceship. That's all
those
I need.
following along,
Empty prime on IM1. Go for prime. Yeah, I guess you polled the room looking for states, and we're going to go ahead and cycle the ground transmitter on Goonhilly and do some RF sweeps. Is that your plan?
That's correct.
Roger, copy.
And that's just what we had in mind in our notes, Gary, is that if we encounter a communications challenge, we mentioned how difficult it is to land on the moon and continually have those communications. What you just heard there is folks talking about using the Goonhilly Earth Station Limited dish in the UK to do a sweep looking for that signal. We mentioned that autonomous process of the lander reassigning itself somewhere that it believes is safe. Going into it, we heard that the HRN camera was functioning and able to make those decisions after what was a 2-hour orbit of problem solving with Intuitive Machines' TRN and HRN cameras. The laser rangefinders assigned to those are the ones that Intuitive Machines installed inside the navigation pods. The laser rangefinders were not activated. We went to NASA and asked to use 2 of the laser beams on the navigation Doppler LiDAR.
That's right.
And spent 2 hours in orbit.
Team, we're going to confirm our pointing vector with our antenna for post-landing.
Yep. We spent about 2 hours in orbit to solve that problem. We got good readings on the way down. And right now, we are working to confirm communications on the surface of the moon, roughly around the Malapert A region. That is the South Pole region of the moon.
That's right. What we do know is the power descent initiation. We were following along in the status calls. We executed a pitch-over maneuver, and we're counting down the clock to a landing time of 5:23 p.m. Central Time. Well, Josh described those processes of working on the communications component to confirm data from the lander, pulsing the teams surrounding him to check the status of Nova C and the data that they were receiving here in Nova Control to confirm landing. And part of that, Josh, as you described, is communications. We're standing by.
Fido MD on IM1.
QMD.
Yeah, I'm looking at our phase plane there for the last part of the flight. Looks like we had excellent pitch and yaw control throughout, but I did see a little bit of a roll excursion. Could it be that we landed off angle and roll in the final phase?
So I do see we had up to an 8-degree excursion. We're
Let me get in there, guys. I got to put a stop loss down. We don't know what's going on here. Hey, I'll be back.
the terminal phase, which is a large roll maneuver to get to landing attitude. That's the last data point I have. But up until that point, we were really solid.
Right. So terminal phase begins at 30 meters. Or post HDA.
Post HDA.
Post HDA.
400 meters.
Very good.
And that's a great conversation confirming.
That's good ground network. Good for box scan. Make that go.
Yeah, that was good confirmation of the process that we were very familiar with, talking about the attitude of the lander, making sure that those antennas are within direct line of sight with Earth stations, ground stations on Earth, excuse me.
Mission Director at all stations are also updating our pointing vector with our dishes to make sure that they're tuned in on our final landing site.
There's a call. We're searching for that communications back to the ground station. This one particularly is in the UK that's tracking us. And it's important to note, Gary, that we have an entire network dedicated to working these communications problems. It's been active this entire mission. And the largest, most powerful dish out of all of them is about a 64-meter dish in Australia. That time to search with that opportunity with the largest, most powerful dish, we're looking at about 12 to 13 hours after our estimated touchdown. So this is a process that we could be looking and searching for the lander's signal for confirmation for quite some time, but we're going to continue to listen in and stand by as our flight controllers are working with the ground station in the United Kingdom to work this issue, work this problem. It's another challenge, very similarly to the challenge solved just to make it this far.
Science of Life, we have a return signal we're tracking.
Let me see that. Shit, camera. Let me see if I can bring this back online, people. Hold up. Beautiful. Luckily, it's still. Am I still live? Yes, sir. Okay, good. Okay, good. This'll work. I'll be bringing the camera back on in a second here. I just got to be able to have the phone. It's just gone. Because I can't bring it up and be live.
Protection system for our communications.
Yeah, this actually works.
After
this
15 minutes with lack of communication,
what I'm going to do is I'm going to go.
We'll power cycle the radios, and then
and take this
after
off
that,
for a second.
for another 15 minutes, it will then switch antenna pairs. So we have some time here to evaluate. We do have signal
take that off for a second.
that we're tracking. So
and pull this up. Now I can utilize my phone. Okay, hold up.
There's a great call out about the autonomous systems installed on our Nova C-class lunar lander named Odysseus. The process he's mentioning, Gary, is very similar to the one that we were preparing ourselves for at AOS, to where the lander has systems in place to recycle its antennas, to switch antenna pairs, and that was very similar to what we thought we were going to need to do after acquisition of signal. When we separated from the second stage of the launch vehicle, if we made it to a certain point, the lander was autonomously programmed to start taking matters into its own hands, and that was the information that our mission director, Dr.
We're not dead yet.
We're also not dead yet.
Come on. Come on. Come on! Stop playing with my emotions! Get this off the screen!
Good. And the key here, Josh, is patience. It's 5:34 p.m. Mission Director Tim Crane confirming that it could take 2 phases of 15-minute increments to confirm the status of the landing. So we could be here, and we'll stand by and monitor as Nova Controls continues to work this issue.
Yeah, tense moments inside of Mission Control with the most qualified folks.
We're picking up a signal from our high-gain antenna and transmitter. It's faint, but it's there. So stand by, folks. We'll see what's happening.
Come on, come on.
All right, we're going to continue to stand by. Let's keep this camera on inside of Nova Control. It sounds like we are getting some kind of faint signal.
I want to send a series of commands to reactivate, make sure we're transmitting to keep the Quasonics active.
Where's my charger? I want to use logic.
We're still standing by. The last call from Mission Director Dr. Tim Crane was that we were getting a faint signal from Odysseus's high-gain antenna.
People don't know what to do. People have no idea what to do. 8:10. What'd you say? What's that? I'll cut the camera back on once we get an idea of what's actually going on here. Beep out of my skirt. Oh.
All stations, this is Mission Director on IM-1. We're evaluating how we can refine that signal and dial in the pointing for our dishes. What we can confirm, without a doubt, is our equipment is on the surface of the moon,
yes!
and we are transmitting. So, congratulations, IM team.
Let's go!
We'll see how much more we can get from that.
Let's go! Run it up! God handle! God handle! God
An excellent call from our mission director, Dr. Tim Crane.
I want a God
And over
handle!
to our CEO, Steve Altus.
Yeah, if I could just pass on a few words to the entire team in Intuitive Machines and Superfab and here in the Mission Control. What an outstanding effort. I know this was a nail biter, but we are on the surface and we are transmitting. And welcome to the moon.
Houston, Odysseus has found his new home.
My money is growing.
An excellent call, and this is our team of Intuitive Machines mechanics and their families, their friends, everyone who has sacrificed so much to make it this far.
Stations.
You must send her to the moon. Let me pull this back up. Let me pull my live stream back up. Oh, I don't know what that is there. Hold on. Y'all are seeing how this is my means of doing live stream right now.
How about that call, Gary? That was something else, a faint signal. Now it's time to work on refining that signal. But Dr. Tim Crane, our mission director today, making the call. Odysseus has a new home.
It shows the disciplines of the flight controllers in Nova Control. They waited until there was absolute confirmation that there was a signal, and then that was when they took the moment to celebrate. We saw that it wasn't just the individuals in Nova Control that contributed to the mission. The contributions to enable the success of Nova C's landing on the moon stretches far and wide. We showed, of course, some of the folks watching there, but really it extends even farther than this. A wonderful and truly amazing moment to celebrate. The U.S. has landed on the moon once again.
And to everyone, you mentioned it goes beyond just the folks that we saw on camera waiting and working through those tense moments, but their friends, their families, and everything it took to get to this point. We're still expecting an image. We expect that to come down sometime in the future, especially as we look towards some high-resolution images. Let's go ahead and it sounds like we do have a message we'd like to cut to. Can we have that message special for our folks, our employees, and folks watching at home?
Yeah, that's right. With Nova C landing at Malapert A, congratulations, like you said, Josh, are flooding into the teams that made this happen. Really sets a tone for the American leadership and the future of a strong lunar economy. So here's NASA Administrator Bill Nelson.
On the 8th day of a 250,000-mile voyage, a voyage along the Great Cosmic Bridge from the launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center to the target of the South Pole of the Moon, a commercial lander named Odysseus, powered by a company called Intuitive Machines, launched upon a SpaceX rocket, carrying a bounty of NASA scientific instruments and bearing the dream of a new adventure in science, innovation, and American leadership in space. Well, all of that aced the landing of a lifetime. Today, for the first time in more than a half century, the U.S. has returned to the moon. Today, for the first time in the history of humanity,
people got their delays.
A commercial company, an American company, launched and led the voyage up there. And today is a day that shows the power and promise of NASA's commercial partnerships. Congratulations to everyone involved in this great and daring quest at Intuitive Machines, SpaceX, and right here at NASA. What a triumph! Odysseus has taken the moon. This feat is a giant leap forward for all of humanity. Stay tuned.
All right, thank you, Administrator Nelson. Again, Nova C and the United States has landed on the moon at 5:23 p.m. Central Time today, February 22nd, 2024. Congratulations to Intuitive Machines on the successful landing. Science and data gathering is already underway and will continue for roughly 7 days on the lunar surface, activating payloads and gathering important scientific data to help ensure future successes in Artemis missions. For more about NASA's CLIPS initiative, visit nasa.gov/CLIPS.
Gary, it's been quite a journey for all of us at Intuitive Machines. Thanks to NASA for the continued support to enable today's successful landing, and of course, everyone at Intuitive Machines, their friends and family who made all of this possible. That will wrap up our coverage of Intuitive Machines' IM-1 mission. Thanks for joining us.
The coast is clear for me now. Woo! Wow. That's positive on all accounts for me. Wow. 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 Now I just want to, we'll give it about 5 or 10 more minutes. I just want to see what the price tag is going to do here. But for everybody that want to know why of course, it's a great thing that we landed on the moon, but the LUNR stock, which we're looking at right now, that's Intuitive Machines. That's who created the spaceship that did this landing procedure. So the company had risen from like $3. We had a pop to 8, then went to 14. Then it was selling off coming into the landing. Everybody was getting skeptical. Down here, you see there was a problem with the landing gear that came on, or here. Recovered, it was steady.
Ram itself down into the black hole. It ends up rubbing against all the other.
Seemed like we lost connection with the spaceship because somebody said something about toppling over. That was here. And then, of course, we get the reconnection and confirmed that we had landed on the moon. So, like I said, just watching price action at this point. I'm green on all accounts, but I'm just trying to see if I can make a couple racks flip right now. I just want to see if we can make a couple racks flip right now. Wish I had a little background music in here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let me add a little background music actually. Let's see what they got. And I'm gonna fair use that right there.
FlexJobs is the #1 job site to find remote work from home and flexible.
All right. I just want to see if she's gonna do a little something. Go ahead and touch 10 for the people. Go ahead and touch 10 for the people. Touch 10 for the people. Let me refine this up a little bit. We'll get about 5 minutes. I just want to see what's going to go with it. Come on with it. Come on with it. We know what's going to happen here. We know what's going to happen here. What a doozy. What a head rush. What a head rush. What a head rush. I'm trying to see that chart. What a head rush. Don't give us a God candle back to 940 and start playing around now. Send her. She's got the line. Here we go. 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 There's no need to play with it now. 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 Let's get us a good solid little after hours runner. We'll collect our profits in the morning as we wait. I need a gap up type movement. High at 9.99. I don't know why we acting like it's resistance. There are no more resistance. There's no more resistance. That's probably the beat. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I feel like it's not turning up. Come on, come with it. Here she comes. 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 Here she goes. Where did she come from? Where did she go? Let me turn this over here. Unplug the mic. I'm over here swinging arms around. 1078. Let's get a close above that previous resistance, if you want to call it that. Let's get a close above 10. A God candle's coming. A God candle's coming. I'm telling you, a God candle's coming. Can we stop playing the radio? Let's not even we don't even have to do the support thing. We know what it is here. Come on. Y'all played. There was enough. Close. Okay. Candle close above. I say within about the next 3 candles, some wick is gonna happen here. What candle range we in right now? 1 to 5 minutes. So that'll be about 15 minutes. This is what I do. This is what I do. Swing trade, baby. Swing it. Swing it. Come on. Come on. Come with it. Got that 48 peeling up. Let's get it. I need a cross above that 200, please. Thank you. Come on. Yep, there you go. There you go. New highs. 30% up. Let's keep her pushing. Yep. Yep, don't even play with me. I don't even have time for it. I want to look down and it be at 14. I really don't even have time to play with you. Come on, 11. 1096 new high. Come on. God candle coming. I'm telling you, next 15 minutes. It's crazy because I could have been crying right now. If that spaceship had a flip. 11. Come with it. I'm not. Ain't no resistance. Come on, come with it. Send her on up there. You can't even talk to me till I see 14. You can't even speak with me. 11:34. 11:30. You can't even speak with me. Yeah. Okay. 11:40. Come with it. You can't even talk to me right now. I don't even feel justified till I see 14. I don't even feel justified. You're not even trying to talk to me. 36%. You're about to see nothing but probably green candles. This thing is going to literally obliterate up. And once it breaks that 14 range, it's blue skies. When it breaks that 14 range, it's blue skies. Let's go ahead and set that up there. Come out on this 1 hour just so I can see. Yeah. Yep. Yep. What was that? Yep. So we're talking about all-time highs here. Okay. Let's go on this 4 hour. Woo! Oh, no. It's been $136. Okay. All right. 11:49. Come on. Look at the bar. Look at it popping. Money's flowing in after hours. It's all bars, baby. Go ahead and take it up to 14. Go ahead and take it up to 14. 11:68. Come on. Send it. I'm not even playing with you. Load it into the bag. Put it in the bag. Put it all in the bag right now. Everything you got, put it in the bag. What a move. Hey. This stock has been playing with me for the last 3 days. Pause. What's this? What color is that right there? We don't know that color. I don't know what color that is. What color is that? What color is that you're doing? You're doing the wrong color. Come with, that's a green candle. This is a 5 minute. It's a 5 minute candle. We're doing no reds. We're doing no reds till 14. Hell, we're not doing any reds till 30. Come with it. Come with it. You know you want to do it. What's that volume? See what's my volume on this one? Volume growing over at 34 million. That's my volume on here. 68. I'm assuming that's 68 million. No, it's 337,000. I know it's not saying 68. Come with it. Opposite direction. little vibe with it. Come with it. Come with it. Stop playing with us, man. Come on. We just landed on the moon. I want $100. One concurrent. Hello, hello, my fellow concurrent. We'll get it by 6:05 and we'll close it out. You get the gist. She's going up. She's going up. Oh, that's because the candle's not completed. $516,000. I know some people open up short positions like hell thinking that spaceship had crashed. People are getting scorched on the other end of this. One way or the other, somebody's getting scorched in these type of plays. Either the short seller, the put buyer, or the adverse. But it seems as though the Bulls have won this one. Oh. Woo. Know it's time to fiddle around right now. I know where this is going to. Yep, there you go. Yeah. Let's reclaim that 11. We just want to see 12 on the stream. That's all. Yep, 11:30. They just want to throw a little red on the screen so it looked a little balanced. $270,000. $35 million volume. Okay. Come with it. Come with it. 3 more minutes. We'll close it down. I just want to see a 12 on the. Hey, give us a 12. Give us a 12 on the stream. Give us a 12 on the stream. This runs in the morning. Market closes in 2 hours to close off after hours. Up 32%. Probably finish off somewhere 60+%. And then it pops off tomorrow. Come with it, come with it. There you go. He's trying to act like 1120 is some type of resistance. Come with it, come with it. You don't have to put on the show, market makers. Let us eat, let us eat, let us eat. There we go. Need to close above 1120. Not a close above it, a close right below it. Which is always good for a push. 1140. 1150. Green bean me. Green bean me. Green bean me. This is just the play that we needed at the end of the month right here. Just the play we needed. Come with it. They're trying to play around. This pop's gonna happen here. Like I said, I probably expect to close around about 60% or higher. But like I said, hey, we got it documented. I always be able to go back on. This is gonna be a big winner. I already know. We'll tap back in with a little update action tomorrow. Hey, much love, family.